All right, joining us now to talk about this is Sal Khan from the Khan Academy. Sal, thanks so much for joining us. A great story, by the way, in a recent issue of Business Week about you and your academy, about the way you got started here. You were working at a hedge fund, and then you started doing this for, I think, a niece and then some friends, and that just blossomed into a massive website with, what, 2 million visitors a month?
That was at the end of last school year, although it's been growing about tenfold a year, and it's already, the last 30 days have been about 2.4, so it's growing pretty fast.
So what do you think about the digital classroom? I mean, we hear so much. We're so excited to talk about the use of whiteboards, the use of iPads for students, the use of something like your website in education. A lot of textbook publishers tell us not so fast. We're not going to move there as quickly as we'd like to.
Yeah, well, I think probably everyone is right to some degree. I think people are excited about things like iPads and smart boards, but I think they're also rightfully skeptical of them because it's not clear that just technology for technology's sake is going to improve outcomes. We believe that what we're offering, and it's not just our videos, it's also the software. It allows students to work at their own pace. It allows teachers to kind of not have to give one pace-fits-all lecture to students anymore, and it makes the classroom really interactive. We think things like that will kind of create demand for technology in the classroom. And from the point of view of textbook publishers, I agree. It probably won't. You won't see every classroom in the country or the world overnight changing into a reality where kids are working at their own pace and they're getting lectures and exercises at their own time. But I do think it's going to happen a lot faster than most people expect.
Sal, where do you want to go with this? And I bring it up because in that Business Week article, you said you're not sure that the Khan Academy should be a business. I mean, what are your plans here? What's the future then for this?
Yeah, I set it up as a not-for-profit in 2007, and it was maybe an unintuitive thing to do for someone working at a hedge fund. But it was, I just thought about it a little bit. I said, well, a huge success as a for-profit entity would be we get acquired or we IPO or something, and that would be great. I'd probably be able to buy a nicer car. But there's also a possibility that some barriers would be put in place for kids to use it, and maybe it gets acquired, and who knows what happens to the content. And I compare that to the success as a not-for-profit, where the mission always goes first. There will never be barriers for kids using the content. It'll be able to reach as many, not just kids, students as possible. And so I kind of figured I'd be happier on my deathbed, which is hopefully a while away, if it's able to educate as many kids as possible.
Let me ask you then, what does that mean for investing in education? Obviously, you were an MIT grad, master's there, Harvard Business School, so kind of East Coast, but surely you talk to a lot of guys in Silicon Valley looking for opportunities to invest in education. Do you think it's still a blossoming, even if you want to keep the Khan Academy not for profit, is it a blossoming, emerging industry?
Well, it clearly is. I mean, you just see what's happening with some of the companies you'd already mentioned. But with that said, I mean, we do, just based on our mission, is to provide a free world-class education to anyone, anywhere. So we might be a spoiler in certain parts of the industry where we will quickly make the market price close to zero. So I guess the for-profit entities will have to watch out, I think, a little bit of not doing something that we're going to do for free.
Sal, let me just ask you, though, about your investors. You've got Bill Gates invested, and Doerr, the wife of legendary venture capitalist John Doerr, giving you guys money. I mean, are they putting any kind of pressure on you to make this a very profitable business, to go public at some point?
No, well, by its very nature, it's a not-for-profit. So even though it's called Khan Academy, I don't own any. No one. The public owns Khan Academy as a 501c3 not-for-profit. All of the people who've invested, they're hugely supportive of the mission. They do encourage us to explore ways that we can get the entity to be self-sustaining, so it won't be 100% dependent on foundation support. And we're looking at those type of things. But everyone who supported us is really behind the mission and making the content as free as possible, preferably just free.
All right. Well, it definitely sounds like a great mission. Sal, good luck, and thanks for finding some time for us this afternoon. Sal Khan of the Khan Academy.